Let's take a trip down memory lane and enjoy a game by Garry Kasparov playing against the late Wolfgang Unziker. He plays a Scotch game, a Kasparov favourite. Black doesn't play the main lines with knight f6 or bishop to c5, but he goes for bishop to b4, flicking in this weird check, saying that your knight's defended, but now you can't play knight c3. Kasparov says, so what, I'll play bishop e3 anyway. Black tucks the bishop away on b6, because you do not want to blunder a bishop with the discovered attack, right? Bishop e6, and okay, it's Kasparov. You know he's going to play some attacking move. You know from the title that g7 is weak. If you're going to play the move knight f5, congrats, you played better than Garry Kasparov. But Kasparov played the move of queen to g4, asking Black calmly, how are you going to defend this pawn? And even the annotator, Evgeny Posny, Israeli grandmaster, FIDE senior trainer, even he didn't find the best move for Black in his annotation. So let me know in the comments below, how would you deal with the threat of queen takes g7 in this position? Let's see who here can improve on these grandmasters play. It turns out that in this position, the move knight f6, the best defense is a good counterattack. Take rook g8, queen has to move to h6, and the idea is not to play knight takes e4, because then you're going to have a few challenges with a fork. Or white can even just go here and just develop and hack this way, Kasparov style. No, the point is that Black can actually go rook g6 here. And he's just preparing to, be like just going for a draw if white just allows this. But say you try to avoid the draw, like queen h3, d5 is suddenly hitting your queen, right? And if you go queen f4, then the rook comes in this way anyway if he wants. Or even better, queen e7 hitting the pawn. You go d5 and you might be down a pawn, but look at the attack that Black has for the pawn here. Like it's quite serious stuff. You can definitely imagine, like Kasparov playing this way as Black, just very aggressive, go for the initiative. If you're enjoying this video so far, do make sure to leave a like and also to subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, tap that notification bell, set the notifications to all. That will ensure you get all of my Grandmaster training each day, and don't miss out on something important for your chess improvement. That being said, let's see the game with queen to f6. It's the second best move. The g4 knight is under attack, and as you probably guessed, white is going to ignore it. He plays the move of queen to g3. Look at the way the queen is hitting c7, hitting g7, and it's actually best for Black not to take the pawn on h4. It would be better just to play d6, consolidate the position, get the bishop or the knight out. Or if you want to really go crazy, like h5 and just like charge the pawn in his throat, AlphaZero style. But instead, Unziker thinks, well, I'm playing Kasparov, he's offered me a pawn. Surely that's a safe pawn to take. Like, no way Kasparov would ever, hurt a fly. Obviously, I'm joking with you guys a bit. But yeah, you can see how the pawn on c7 is threatened. Let's say you try to defend it with d6 here. White will swing the rook in with tempo. It's going to kick in with f4 and you might see the problem, right? Your queen e7, white can take that pawn, but if you try to hang on to all of the ill-gotten gains, well, you're going to sink in the mine swamp. Knight d5. How do you defend this? How do you defend this? How do you defend this? You can't. Queen b2 just takes. And you're not just winning the pawn, you're winning the rook in the corner as well. So that's no go, but after knight e7 in the game, white just gets the pawn back. And look at how ugly this is for Black. You've got this bishop stuck behind the pawn. You can just play quiet move, rook d2. Just leave Black stewing in his own juices here. Because if the bishop can't get out, the rook is stuck as well. Black plays a move knight g6. He lashes out with f5. Just desperate to do anything to change the absolutely disgusting plight he is in. The problem is, Kasparov's not going to give you a second life. Once he has you by the balls, there's no going back. He takes. And look at this, even here, the bishop and rook are still completely stuck in this position. By the way, it turns out the computer is saying you could have played this knight e7 move and that you're just completely winning this way, but okay, white's move also works. Castles, queen c6. There's no real threat. We can just keep the position with bishop b3. Black trades the queens, and even in the endgame, still this lack of development is haunting Black, just casting a shadow over his whole position. b6, white plays a little tricky here. Very nice move, knight to b5. You can't take the knight because then you get mated on the back rank. Black plays the move bishop b7, trying to get out, but the knight comes to the monster with 1,000 eyes that sees everything. That's the way that Tony Miles described Kasparov, and when you see the way the game ended, you can understand why. Because Black resigned, he's down a pawn, he's losing more material, there's discovered checks galore, it's just all over. This was definitely a very fun game, just seeing White just crush a GM like it's nothing. If you want to see more games like this, do let me know about it in the comments below, so that I can, adapt my content based on what you guys want most. And yeah, on that note, I'll see you in the next training. Take care, everyone.